You are watching the Go Crying to Walk In podcast. I'm Chef Cholo, and you already know. As usual, we are powered by Hospitality News Magazine and Hospitality News Magazine Online. If you want to have your finger on the pulse of everything hospitality, whether it's events, happenings, equipment launches, look no further than Hospitality News Magazine. And if you like anything that you're watching, please hit the like and subscribe button. It'll always help. Today's guests are the first in our father and son installment. Today we have Ted and Jeremy Heim from Intercounty Baking. What do you say, brother?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Say, Chris. Great to be here.
Young Jeremy. What do you say, brother? Huh?
What do you say?
I'm doing well. Were you ready to go? So, I'm going to give a little history of what I know about your company, again, because I've known you for a little while, socially and business-wise. And from what I remember, your dad started this Intercounty Baking. Is that right, Teddy?
No, it was actually my grandfather was one of the founders.
Your grandfather.
Yeah.
See, I was close, right? Dad, grandfather. So how many years ago did your grandfather started this?
It was him and his buddies that were bakers. My grandfather owned a bakery in Baldwin, and he came over as a German immigrant in the early 1900s with a few bucks in his pocket and started a bakery. And then later in his career, he had done pretty well through the Depression in his bakery. He owned some real estate in Baldwin. And
all here on Long Island?
Yeah, all right in Baldwin.
Wow.
I think originally he was in Brooklyn, but then he owned Heim's Bakery in Baldwin.
Right.
And then him and his buddies have this Nassau-Suffolk Bakers Association, which actually still exists. And
I know those guys, yeah.
And
so those are like a club of professional guys.
Yeah, they would get together. It was social, and they were independent bakery owners on Long Island. And
this was before big deliveries and stuff like that. How would people get goods at that time?
There was a distributor, and that's who they ended up buying. They got together. The guy wanted to retire. And my grandfather and his buddies decided, why don't we form a co-op, and we'll buy this together.
Still operating bakeries.
They own their bakeries. My grandfather sold his bakery to run it, and it was later in his career. So soon after that, my dad got hired as a salesman, and He was involved in it. But even when I started in 1984, we didn't own the company. It was owned by 50 bakeries on Long Island.
50?
Yeah, that was about 50. That's right around that.
And when did you start getting into that? When you right out of high school?
I came out of college in '84, and I started right away. And then for 10 years, we had a board of directors. These guys would come. They would own the legendary Long Island bakeries on Long Island. They would come, and at the end of the year, whatever the profits were of the company, we would give it back to them as a discount on what they bought. So the more you bought, the more you got. You might get 5% back, 6% back.
So it all kind of worked for each other. It was all just one big thing.
They owned it.
Would you sell to people outside of the group?
Yeah, well, that's what.
Or did you have to be part of the group to buy?
When I started in '84, it was 85% was those 50 bakeries.
Wow.
And then my father built a freezer. And the board helped him build a freezer, and he started to get into the frozen bakery supply business, and then we started to grow outside the co-op, and the bagel stores started to come in, the in-store supermarkets started to put in bakeries,
right?
And then so it did start to grow outside, and that's kind of these guys were getting older, and they saw the company growing, and that's what kind of hooked me in the beginning. It was a lot of fun. We were growing, and there was a lot of excitement about our company at the time.
Now, growing up, it was something that you always thought you would work with your father?
No, I didn't do that.
What'd you go to college for?
Finance. I was going to be
partying.
A bank. Yeah, mostly. But I was thinking investment banking, finance. When I came out of school, and I didn't get into the graduate school I wanted to go to, so my dad said, "Hey, why don't you try this?" And
right.
So I started working for him, and then, like I said, it was a lot of fun.
Not bad working with your old man.
Yeah, we had a good run. And my dad's still coming in. He's 87 years old. He still comes to work. So.
I mean, I came to your store I came to your old store, and your dad was there that day. I remember.
He's there.
Yeah.
So then in the 90s, they started to say, hey, what are we going to do with this? It's growing. How do we get a return on what happened here?
Right. And, how do we make money?
Yeah, and then they got advice, and the advice was sell the company. We said, hey, if you want to sell the company, we want to buy it.
Right.
And then we worked the deal, and in 95, we closed the deal, and we gave them all notes.
This was you and your father together?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, and we bought it in 95, and then we paid them off over a dozen, 15 years.
So that store that was over there, like by Boning Brothers all those years, that was the original, that was like where it always was, or there was different stages of that?
Started in West Hempstead, in a
West
small little
Hempstead.
place, and then in '85, right when I started, we moved to Lindenhurst,
Right.
and now we're in Deer Park about 8 or 9 years. now.
Lindenhurst, home of the Holy Black, where I get my beard and hair taken
yeah.
care of. You don't know about barbers, Teddy, but
No, I don't
take
need
you-
any.
Jeremy, you might have to visit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to visit.
I'll take you over there.
Yeah, all right.
For your wedding day, they freshen you
We
up.
could-
They
we
get all
could
the boys freshened up.
We could do that.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So, what made you grow out of that spot in Lindenhurst and want to move to Deer Park?
Yeah,
Just natural growth.
Yeah, that building was kind of big right from the get-go. We did a lot of cold storage to keep it going. We were running Haagen-Dazs routes. We were doing some other things.
Also, other guys would use that as storage.
Yeah, while we grew into it, and then we
Right.
filled it up, and then we were out of room,
Right.
and was able to make a deal with my neighbor, wanted the property, and it took us. Moving was hard, but
So
we.
cold storage, that's like a business. What, you mean like coats, fur coats and stuff? No.
No,
just food.
frozen pallets in and out.
In and out. Other guys.
Other distributors and
Guys that just own
manufacturers.
trucks or whatever.
They don't have enough freezer space. We
Right.
actually use it now. We're putting stuff.
You take it over now.
No, we put it. We were actually out of space again, so we use outside storage. It's a common thing.
Oh,
in
now
the-
you use outside
yeah, a little
storage.
bit, yeah.
Wow. Thoughts about building over there more? Building it up there even more?
Yeah, we just got the land next to us, so we're gonna put up another big freezer right there. Yeah.
Jeremy, things are
growing.
happening for you. What about you, brother? You always thought you were going to work with your pop.
I mean, my dad, he made it was a good joke a couple months ago, but he said, "I'm 30 years old, 25 years on the job," and when he said it, I was like, "That's kind of right." I remember walking into a bakery at 5 years old,
Uh-huh.
and I always enjoyed it, I always liked it. But I think I always definitely loved business. I loved the business. I knew I wanted to study business, and so I started working summers, and I liked to be on the forklift. I liked whatever
So you were
driving-
working in the warehouse
yeah,
mostly.
pushing broom, scrubbing, whatever had to be done.
Now you do a lot of sales work now, or is
No.
mostly infrastructure?
Yeah. Now I'm in the office. Now I'm sales and operations, a mixture of both.
Building it up. I see a
Yeah.
lot of things happening over there, changes, and
keep
you're
trying.
responsible for that, right?
Got the whole team. We got a whole team of people.
Yeah, you
helping
got
us.
your guy Tommy. He's my guy. He's my
Yeah.
guy for years.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to Landmark Diner, years ago, probably like 15 years ago now, and and they had a bakery. It was the first time I ran a restaurant with a bakery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd always bought from the bakeries. So I said, where do you guys buy all the stuff from? And they were like, oh, here and there. It was like some guy from New Jersey. I was like, well, my neighbor, my guy, Ted Heim, he owns this County Baking. And at first, the diner guys were like, oh, I don't know. They're a big company. I mean, these diner guys are weird. And I was like, no, let me bring him in. Let me show you what's happening with this. So Teddy sent Tommy over, and next thing I know, we started doing a lot of work with you guys, right? I mean, I don't know if they still do work over there.
they're
That
still
diner.
buying. Yeah, they're still buying.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you want quality ingredients, you want a good price, you want good service, and I think you guys always, we were talking about that a minute ago with Dominic. I mean, your trucks always come with two guys on it. You know what I mean? I don't see a delivery truck with two guys on it anymore.
A lot of heavy stuff. A lot of stuff. It's hard work what our guys
Flour,
do.
right, Dominic?
It's hard work what our guys do for sure.
Lifting flour around. Now, how do you compete against these big guys like Cisco? Is that something that you think about every day, or no? You just try and offer great service. Is there a plan to fight against the big guy?
No, it is about taking care of people, not letting people down. You
Right.
know, having the
'Cause
right.
they let people down sometimes.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Well,
Dominic, is that true?
and relationships. I mean, people like to do business with people they know, and
Right.
we build these relationships. We take good care of people. We try not to give them an excuse to look anywhere else, right?
What's the big difference in bakery business? Like, I don't want to say, I'm going to say after COVID or whatever COVID, but like now, is there a big change in what you see in bakeries now that you did, the day, like say when you started, Teddy?
Well, there's a lot less of them, right?
A lot less of them.
Yeah, a lot less. of 'em.
BJ's, a $20 cake.
Yeah. But the ones that are left are real good. They're strong, good families. It's a family business.
It is a family business.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's no
we deal
doubt,
with a
yeah.
local family, Dortoni Bakery. Shout out to the boys over there.
Yeah.
of
Awesome,
course.
awesome
Great
crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great crew.
Yeah, I knew Lello, the father, and now I have a really good relationship with Donnie. And then Corey ran the bakery over there in our town right near us in Port Jeff. So
Yep.
long time. Now, but as bakeries get less and supermarkets and the BJ's get stronger, you just sell to them, I would think. No.
Yeah, and we go further away. We're finding the bakeries, and we're also selling larger bakeries now. There's a lot of wholesale baking going on. Obviously, they're supplying to restaurants and the
Like bakeries that don't have a retail business. Or anything like
that's
that.
a big part of our business now.
Well, they got the Mecca right around the corner here, Glen Wayne, the king of all donuts.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys bring stuff over there.
We know.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I actually went. I just drove by. I was a little early, and they closed on Monday.
Oh, no.
I'm really a little
Ready
disappointed.
for a donut,
That
right?
is a beautiful bakery. It's immaculate, that place.
That is some bakery,
It's a really
man.
beautiful
Yeah,
bakery.
that is some
it's really
bakery.
nice
And then
place.
like you go there at 5 o'clock, it's still 1,000 donuts, and then and it really is. It's a good donut. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a connoisseur when it comes to that stuff. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed. It wasn't.
We didn't bring any donuts.
Hey, it's your boy Chef Cholo from the Go Crying to Walk In podcast. And if you're like me, you yearn for that old school relationship between purveyors and chefs. Nowadays, they got me going on a website, looking up my own orders, placing my own orders. I don't even know if the thing's going to get delivered the next day. I got nobody to talk to. If you're looking for that old school service with aggressive pricing, look no further than American Food Connection. What you do is you call the number at the bottom of the screen, you ask for Danny, and you get it straight. You already know. What about social media? Think that's something? I mean, I know we talked about it a minute ago that it wasn't something that you're currently doing, but what do you think? Is that something that's important for your growth as a company? Like maybe showcasing some of the people that you work with as part of your social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly important. You want to show the company, show the brand, show your presence, right? We've also seen like if we're having offer, like we launched our website that we have people can order online. They can see pictures of product. We're also going to relaunch our food show again this year. So these kind of things that put us in
That food show was great.
where we can talk to people, see people, and yeah, we'll post it and we'll share it and we'll show what's going on. But those kind of things were definitely important for our business.
It's how everybody looks at everything.
Yeah,
For me, it's like how I see everything. You know, I'm going through my Instagram and, I'm seeing even like you get inspiration from, I mean, I think the bakery world is obviously stronger in other places like Italy. I mean, you guys visit Italy, right?
Yeah,
Naples, where were you? Naples?
We were
Rimini, the Egypt show, the Lanka.
So that's where they have like a big show.
Rimini,
Massive gelato show.
That's who makes like the bases for
well,
gelato.
We're bringing in the stuff from Alanka, from Italy. That's
right, and that's like a base to make gelato from.
Yeah.
and pastry creams and things
And
like that.
pastry creams, so they do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But that's a big show. That's crazy. That's wild.
Anybody on Instagram that you watch that you really like, you're like bakery wise that you're impressed with, you see something and you go, oh, you guys gotta check this out. You into that?
once in a while.
Watermelon popcorn? You don't know watermelon
No,
popcorn.
I don't know that one though.
What about Pasteria Manta? You ever see that? This guy is the croissant king.
Okay.
All right.
I watch these TikToks and these Instagrams.
Yeah.
I lose my mind sometimes watching it.
Yeah.
What about the influx of like gluten free and allergy? Is that had an impact on what you guys sell now? I mean, are you selling different things?
It's definitely had an impact. Yeah, we do sell different things. The paperwork, the certifications that go along with that, all things that we incorporate into our business. It's still, it's a growing part of the business, but our retail bake shops are the ones keeping us going. Those bread and butter,
Right, that's but still, like a guy has a local baker and he wants to make a cookie now that he's got Johnny coming in every 5 minutes, but he wants to make a cookie. Yeah. So things like xanthan and that stuff you would carry now.
Yeah, we have it all. The rice flour is a big deal.
Rice flour.
Right.
Yeah, that's heavy stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, you feel like you're sourcing things very, very far away, or like you source things like closer to closer. Is that something that's happening in your industry where there are local producers that are now falling into place that you guys would want to sell their things? Is there anything like that happening?
Definitely, yeah. I think it's definitely a blend of mix. We local producers, little new things that come out that people are asking for. We bring in, and then there's also we're finding new suppliers from it could be anywhere, whatever it is our customers are looking for. We think we know what we need.
Who's the new Hannah's crumb cake? Is that what we're talking about?
That's from I don't know that one.
Was it Heim's?
Yeah.
It's over in Florida, right? It's the crumb cake.
Yeah.
You sell that? I see you guys distribute that, right?
Yeah, and they buy some ingredients from us. Same thing. We sell a lot of them. We have other ones too. There's a lot of crumb cake out there.
What about I see again on social media, I see a lot with this influx of pizza now. People are it's not just pizza anymore. Guys want to buy different flours, and they want to, they want to learn about a starter, let's say, and they want to start using. Is this like something that you guys are noticing is changing? Like, are people requesting specialty flours to make pizza and things like that?
So yeah, we actually never really been big in the pizza world. I mean, we definitely watch and we see these things, and we see those the trends going on in food industry for sure. It's really fascinating. But I mean, I see it as a possibility one day for sure. But currently, we haven't really been into pizza world.
But we have the artisan bakers that are looking for a better organic flour and
like different flours.
Yeah, really
and things.
making really crazy good bread, and that's definitely there's a
that's
increasing
interesting
quality,
stuff, right?
Yeah.
You got to see my boy. I'm going to send you that. This is going to be your next meet. You're going to go see Mark Bynum at the Pie Hole in Farmingdale.
Okay.
And he's into his flour. You know what I mean? He's into his bread. He's like, it's a pizza store, but it's bread. You know what I mean? And it's a crumb, and it's how he mixes. And I know he's like, I'm watching his Instagram and his TikTok. He's all over like the mixing of flours and stuff. It's beyond me. You know what I mean? I cook like this.
Definitely a movement away from the bleached and the bromated and untreated flour.
That's
more
what I'm
natural,
talking about.
Yeah, there's definitely a big movement toward that.
Bleached and bromated. So what does that mean? Bleached and bromated. Teddy, help me out here.
Bleach is to make the flour look whiter.
Whiter.
Yeah, and the bromation is about preservatives, I believe. But
to keep it like longer.
And that's the way all of the American flour was. It was all bleached and bromated.
So now a chef would ask for something that's not
unbleached, untreated flour.
Untreated. But is that a normal practice now? Or no, the guy's going to have to ask for that?
Nah, it's almost as much as the treated now.
Right.
It got a lot. It started out like that, but now we sell a lot of untreated flour. And cleaner labels, Some people are packaging things, just labeling requirements. They don't want the preservatives. They want, we're definitely seeing cleaning up.
At the base level, the bakers are looking for cleaner and base ingredients to deliver, a better product.
Especially if they're putting a label on it, if it's packaging, like the wholesale bakers. Yeah.
And what about movies? You watch a lot of movies, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm a movie guy.
You watch TV?
A little bit, yeah.
You watching The Bear on Hulu?
Bear? No, I don't know that one. No, I don't know.
What's your favorite restaurant movie?
Favorite restaurant movie?
I'm hitting you hard right now. Yeah. What about bakery? What
put
about
me on the spot?
What about Moonstruck? What about Moonstruck? Patty, you
know
Moonstruck. Karen, get me the big knife.
We still sell that bakery. It's still there, I think.
Are you serious?
It was not that many years ago. I remember pumping flour into Camerari Bakery. That was still there. Yeah.
Johnny Camerari.
I don't think it's called that anymore. I don't know if we're
But that's what it was? Even then? That's what it was?
Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy, man.
I'm not sure what it is.
I was going to hit that nerve right there.
I'm not sure what it is now.
That's awesome.
But something tells me that oven is still going, and it's probably still there.
That's one of them things, like we talked about. Coal, like a wood burning or a coal burning oven, you can't put them in anymore. You got to have that.
Good.
So you're over there living in Huntington, huh, Jeremy?
Yes, I am.
Walking into town.
Oh, yeah. Great spot.
You like that,
right?
I love
it. Yeah.
Not bad. When I was a kid, that was where you went to go have a good time.
Yeah.
Probably still, right?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
I never went a lot of bars in that town, son.
Yeah.
I hope you're not practice that.
No,
you're a good guy, Jeremy.
Of course,
you're a good boy.
course.
I knew that. So your sister lives in California now. You spent time out there?
Yeah, we actually went to visit her last September. She was doing a half marathon, so my fiance and I went out there to visit her. Yeah,
I only run from the police.
Yeah, I couldn't believe she did it, but yeah, she did it, and she was all excited, pumped up. Yeah, her boyfriend, a friend.
You go to a lot of restaurants where you're out there, check out the scene, bakeries and whatnot. Different out there.
Anywhere I go, I want to check out the scene, the restaurant,
know
bakery.
What's up, right?
Of course.
That was my problem. That's when I figured out I had a food addiction. I would plan my visits through donut shops and bakeries and bagel stores. Right?
Of course.
Not a good idea.
Actually, the last 4 or 5 years, we've been really doing a great job and kind of getting generational a little bit. Some of us getting older, and we got to bring in some.
Ted, you're not talking about retiring, are you, buddy?
Nah. I'm getting ready. I told you my father's still coming in. So.
Exactly. Yeah, you have a good palate to look at. You're not going to mess with that. And I missed you at opening day at the Mets, but maybe we'll catch a game together this year.
Sounds good. Absolutely.
Good win last night for the Mets, right?
Yeah. I watched the whole game. It was great.
You watch all the games?
Yeah, most of them.
My old man used to watch at least 140 games a year. Sit there every night. You go to a family party. Hey, where's Roy? Oh, he's in the other room with the television.
Yeah, Mets game.
Watching the Met game.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really important with this industry is obviously we talked about cold storage, and you must have you must rely heavily on refrigeration, whether it's a, freezer or a walk-in. Do you guys use any kind of software or anything that kind of monitors how these machines are working and operating and give a warning for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do something like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you value? That's something that you probably couldn't really do this without, I would think, right? I mean, you would need to know. You would never want to come in one morning and have the refrigerator not working, right? You want to have
No,
that
it's
half
millions
the
of
stuff
dollars worth of
defrosted.
product. Yeah, you got to
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, so we get emails if the temperatures are off. You know, refrigerator. We got to maintain certain temperatures in certain areas of the building, and we get alerts right away.
And you would get an alert if something went down and
yeah,
everything
Absolutely.
like that. Yeah,
and we also have generators that kick on if the power goes off.
so you have generators backing up all these
Yeah,
refrigerators.
everything. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
I'm
kinds
sure
of
that's
stuff,
super
yeah.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah, awesome. Well, listen, you guys were awesome today, and I
course.
appreciate you coming in. And remember, you are watching the Go Crying to Walk In podcast. I'm Chef Cholo, and you already know. And don't ever forget to like and subscribe. That's it.